Welcome to Tech Quest X, where we make tech clear and show what it means for your role. Everyone's talking about agentic AI agents, but here's what almost no one is talking about: the profound skepticism and sheer hype fatigue among experienced developers. They've seen it all before, and frankly, they're tired of the noise. Hype without proof is just expensive distraction. Many in the tech industry, especially content creators and early adopters, fundamentally underestimate this sentiment. They assume the excitement for new tools translates directly to production readiness. But veteran developers, the ones building the core systems, are demanding more than impressive demos. They need hard numbers, reliability, and real-world viability before they'll even consider integrating. This isn't a new concept, it's a foundational principle, despite the current none-of-a-clear framework for evaluating these agents. What's consistently missing? Proven, real-world examples that demonstrate agentic AI's ability to genuinely replace human coding or testing at scale, without introducing new, complex failure modes. This isn't just a developer's gripe. Product managers often find themselves making roadmap decisions based on unproven AI capabilities, creating a ripple effect of missed deadlines and frustrated teams downstream. Consider a mid-sized SaaS company's ML team. They rolled out an AI agent designed to auto-generate unit tests for a legacy codebase. 2 weeks later, critical system updates failed in staging because the AI-generated tests were brittle, contained subtle logic errors, and passed erroneously on broken code. This cost 3 senior engineers 6 weeks to refactor the testing suite manually, eroding trust in AI and pushing release dates. You might be thinking, but the demos look so good, and they often do, but there's a vast chasm between a compelling proof of concept and something truly production-ready. The code generated by these agents often requires extensive review, refactoring, and debugging. It's not just about getting some code, it's about getting reliable, maintainable code. This leads to an unspoken burden. Many developers find that reviewing, validating, and debugging AI-generated code takes nearly as long, if not longer, than just writing it from scratch. The promised productivity leap frequently evaporates into a hidden workload of meticulous verification, turning a potential accelerator into a complex auditing task. Ultimately, the goal isn't just about faster development, it's about sustainable, secure, and reliable systems. Serious professionals are quietly absorbing these costs and risks. So what does this deep-seated skepticism reveal about the true value of agentic AI today? After the initial splash of excitement, experienced developers are undergoing what many are calling a come-to-Jesus moment with agentic AI. The conversation has shifted dramatically from breathless hype to a much deeper, more pragmatic skepticism. You might have felt this too, that quiet voice asking, "Where's the proof?" Developers are now demanding hard numbers, real-world production use cases, and verifiable ROI, moving past the dazzling demos. They're viewing current claims of autonomous coding, or AI agents independently completing complex engineering tasks, as largely unproven or even detrimental slop. This isn't just cynicism. It's a disillusionment revealing a significant disconnect between what vendors promise and the messy, practical engineering reality. For example, a mid-sized SaaS company's internal tools team tried to accelerate a data migration script using an AI agent. The initial run appeared successful, but critical data integrity checks were silently skipped because the agent optimized for completion rather than correctness and lacked deeper schema awareness. It cost them 3 weeks of critical data recovery and several missed deadlines. This isn't about rejecting AI outright. It's about a mature recognition that real-world software development isn't about speed for speed's sake. Speed without validation is just expensive guessing. Unvalidated AI-generated code is often brittle, difficult to debug, and requires significant refactoring, often making it more costly than writing from scratch. This isn't just a developer headache. Ops teams then face brittle deployments, and security teams inherit unvetted attack surface exposure. The true cost of slop spreads across the entire organization. This intellectual payoff, this critical reevaluation, is where we begin to understand the true value and the hidden dangers of agentic AI in our development workflows. Because the real problem isn't just unreliable code. It's something far more fundamental. Beyond the initial skepticism, a deeper, more insidious problem emerges with agentic AI. The hidden dangers of the hype itself. It's not just about what the agents can't do, but what their perceived capabilities encourage us to stop doing. We're talking about the subtle erosion of critical thinking, the misplaced trust in automated outputs, and the compounding technical debt that accrues when we outsource foundational understanding. You might be thinking, but surely some automation is good. And yes, it is. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Trusting AI agents without rigorous, continuous human verification is professional negligence. Unlike a clear, well-defined architecture where every component has a known role and purpose, agentic AI, in its current hyped form, often feels like building without a blueprint, none of a plan. The illusion of instant productivity quickly dissolves when you realize the time saved in generation is often doubled in review and debugging. This isn't just a developer concern. It fundamentally impacts how product managers scope features, how security teams assess risk in generated code, and how operations workflows need to adapt to potentially fragile, AI-driven deployments. The real danger isn't that an agent writes bad code. It's that we accept it without questioning, allowing compounding errors to silently embed themselves deep within our systems. This leads to brittle applications, difficult to diagnose issues, and a massive increase in technical debt down the line. Consider a mid-sized SaaS company's ML team. They rolled out an instant data pipeline agent designed to automate feature engineering. 2 months later, customer churn spiked because the agent, left unsupervised, had silently introduced a subtle data skew in a critical recommendation model by misinterpreting an upstream schema change. 5 senior engineers spent a grueling 8 weeks diagnosing what turned out to be an AI-induced data poisoning issue, costing the company millions in lost revenue and customer trust. And let's address a key pain point for many in the community, the skill erosion trap. If agents are handling the boring, boilerplate, or simple refactoring, where do junior developers gain the foundational experience needed to understand complex systems? The traditional learning ladder, built on mastering these entry-level tasks, risks being dismantled, potentially creating a generation of developers who can prompt, but can't truly build or debug from first principles. The critical decision framework isn't about if you use agentic AI, but how you implement a robust verification burden. Every piece of AI-generated output, whether code, configuration, or data transformation, must be treated as a suggestion, not a directive. This means investing in comprehensive testing, strong code review processes, and a human-in-the-loop system that prioritizes understanding over blind acceptance. To move forward effectively, we need to apply agentic AI with tight scopes and demand verifiable outputs. This pragmatic approach not only mitigates the risks of the hype, but also ensures that true productivity gains are realized, not just deferred. Because the real problem isn't always the AI itself. It's our uncritical embrace of its promises without understanding the hidden costs. While the buzz around agentic AI paints a picture of instant code generation and effortless problem-solving, there's a stark contrast in the trenches. Senior developers, the ones who architect systems and tackle the truly complex challenges, are often the first to express deep skepticism. They see beyond the flashy demos. Here, we're not relying on a grand analogy to explain this. We're looking at direct, pragmatic observations from those with years of experience. Their primary concern isn't about AI's ability to generate any code, but its inability to grasp the why behind existing systems. Legacy codebases, intricate business logic, subtle performance bottlenecks. These require human intuition, not just pattern matching. Senior devs argue that agentic AI struggles with the unspoken context, the historical baggage, and the political realities woven into every line of production code. Many assume agentic AI accelerates development, but senior engineers often find it shifts the workload rather than reducing it. Reviewing AI-generated code, especially when it touches critical paths, demands an even higher level of scrutiny. It's like being handed a complex legal brief written by a brilliant but inexperienced intern. You still have to painstakingly verify every single detail. Speed without understanding is just expensive chaos. Consider a mid-size fintech company that deployed an AI agent to refactor a legacy payment processing module. The agent generated code quickly, integrating new API endpoints. But 2 months later, they started seeing intermittent, non-critical transaction failures under specific load conditions. The root cause? The AI hadn't accounted for an obscure, internal ID impedancy key caching mechanism that senior engineers would have immediately flagged. The cost? 6 weeks of debugging, emergency patches, and significant reputational damage with partners. This isn't just a developer concern about code quality. It has profound implications across the entire organization. For product managers, it means risking feature launches on unstable foundations. For security teams, it introduces potential vulnerabilities that AI agents might unwittingly embed. And for operations, it translates into unpredictable production issues and escalating incident response times, impacting overall system reliability and customer trust. So how do senior developers actually see agentic AI? Not as an autonomous genius, but as a powerful, highly specialized tool. They advocate for tightly scoped agents, given specific, verifiable tasks like generating boilerplate, writing tests, or suggesting refactoring patterns. The value isn't in broad problem solving, but in automating repeatable, low-risk aspects of the craft, always with a human in the loop for critical decision-making and context integration. This pragmatic view isn't about stifling innovation. It's about building reliably. It moves us from a naive belief in AI magic to a strategic use of automation where it truly adds value without sacrificing quality or understanding. But the challenge remains. How do we foster human expertise when AI handles the easy tasks? The teams who truly succeed with agentic AI aren't just moving fast. They're moving smart. They understand that the goal isn't just to integrate AI, but to integrate it in a way that generates real, verifiable value. Getting this right isn't about chasing every shiny new feature. It's about building secure, observable, and sustainable systems. Because the professional consequence of getting this wrong is severe. It's a drain on engineering resources, a compounding of technical debt, and a deep erosion of trust. You might be thinking, are we falling behind by being cautious? The truth is, speed without validation is just expensive guessing. An over-reliance on unverified AI agents can quickly become a bottleneck, frustrating developers and ultimately costing the business far more in rework than any initial productivity gain. This isn't just a developer concern. If agent outputs aren't validated, it impacts product managers who rely on release schedules, and it poses significant risks for security and compliance teams who must attest to system integrity. It ultimately affects the bottom line and market reputation. Think about it. A seemingly minor bug introduced by an unsupervised agent can ripple through the entire product lifecycle. Consider a mid-sized SaaS company's marketing analytics team. They rolled out an intelligent content generation agent to automate blog posts based on trending keywords. 2 months later, their organic traffic tanked, and they saw a surge in negative comments because the agent, left unchecked, started generating repetitive, low-quality content that violated brand guidelines and was flagged by search engines. It took 2 content strategists and a data scientist 8 weeks to manually audit, redact, and rebuild the content library, costing the company lost revenue and significant brand reputation damage. But the inverse is also true. When deployed thoughtfully, agentic AI elevates human expertise. It frees developers from repetitive, boilerplate tasks, allowing them to focus on complex problem-solving, architectural design, and true innovation. This isn't about replacing developers. It's about amplifying their impact, turning them into architects of even more powerful, intelligent systems. This is about shifting from output to outcome. The illusion of instant is the enemy of reliable. Focus on smart architectures, robust validation, and a clear understanding of where human oversight is non-negotiable. So if you found this breakdown valuable, please hit that like button. What's your biggest takeaway or challenge with agentic AI? Share it in the comments below. I read every single one. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more insights that cut through the hype. And grab the full Agentic AI playbook, link in the description. Thank you for watching.